means till you've done the Breakfast Time Friday strut. So take a deep breath and get ready to roar. Welcome to Breakfast Time with Lori, Tom, and Bob the Puppet. Sitting in for Jim the announcer, it's me, Jillian. Say thank goodness it's Friday, Tom.
I agree. Thank goodness it's Friday, Tom. Let's get a strut cam down in the booth for Jillian Hamilton filling in for Jim. Do we have a strut cam there?
I'm strutting.
You'll be doing some booth strutting?
I'm strutting.
It is the threshold of the weekend, as Jillian sort of insinuated, and that is why we invite all of you to do the improvisational dance number we refer to as the Friday Strut. Lori Hibbard, come on down. All right, we're going to welcome everybody here.
Good morning.
Oh, that's very good. That was like a parade wave.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
It's
And
Friday.
now the
I'm so
swimsuit competition.
excited that it's Friday, I'll tell you. This
Bobster,
has been one
you
long
ready
week.
to strut?
You bet. I was born to strut.
More to slither anyway. I don't know where he is hiding in the apartment. Let's welcome some of the people that we have
Hey,
here. We have Mr. Romance.
Yes.
Greg Goddick. Greg,
Morning.
Come on
Hey,
in.
come on in.
Hey.
He's going to talk to
do-
us
do I
about
get to dance with
romance
you?
later.
No, you don't.
We have Handyman Joe.
Morning, guys.
Hi,
He's
Joe.
going to be wrestling with a snake. We have our visiting viewers, the Campbells, Kathy and Ray. Come on in
Hey,
here from
Kathy.
Michigan. We have Cyber Babe here with us. Cyber Babe, come on
Hey.
in. We'll be doing an internet soap opera piece a little later on. Who else have we left? Oh, we have Ellen Linder's niece and nephew. Ellen, who books talent for the show.
Yay.
We have Cody and Courtney.
Courtney.
Yeah,
here with
look
us.
at Ellen. Hubba, hubba.
No relation
We
to
left
Cody
it.
and Cody, I might add.
Right. Beatrice is here. She's back and feeling good. Come on, Beatrice. Come on in and get ready to strut.
I actually have a little strut tip for you this
do?
morning.
Okay.
You know Dave Schenfeld, the new producer here
Sure.
on Breakfast Time,
Yeah.
came up and said, and I quote, what is the Friday strut?
Where's Schenfeld? Is he? Schenfeld.
What is the Friday strut, he
Come
said.
on down here, Dave. Come on down here.
Gotta be a
Well,
I
see,
know.
he's joined us from the pet department, and they just do the hydrant stall. So we're doing the Friday strut. All right, you want to check on the remotes while we're...
All right, while we're waiting for Mr. Schenfeld to join us here for the Friday strut and possibly lead it, we checked with John Davis, who is in Newport, Rhode Island this morning at the Naval Academy. Are they ready to strut down? They look ready.
Oh, yes.
We're ready. They're ready to strut. You ready?
The midshipman strut.
What more can I say?
Okay.
Patricia Moreno is in Topeka, Kansas this morning with the swimmers.
Looking good.
Ready? Yeah.
We're ready to strut. Are you guys ready to strut?
Those goggles you have on? You look great.
Are we going to get an all-balloonist strut with Phil Kogan? Oh, well,
All
look at
right.
this. 12th annual Quick
gotta get
Check
ready for the
Festival
strut.
of Ballooning. Yes, okay.
Oh, we're ready, all right.
Let's look good like that.
All right, and this strut is being dedicated to a birthday boy, Robert Reynolds, one of my cyber pals that I correspond with online. He is 16. His mother, Christine, said, "This will be better than giving him a car."
And
All right. Rob, are you ready?
Rob.
Rob?
Are you
audio.
set? That'd be a yes. All
All
right,
right, Dave Schenfeld.
Schenfeld, lead
Talking
the
heads.
strut. Dave Schenfeld. Yeah!
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Go, Dave. Go, Dave.
Yeah, go down. You're doing great. We have one of the stars of the Sandra Bullock film The Net with us today.
Jeremy Northam.
That's right.
Very good
Jessica
looking guy.
Heck. She's David Schwimmer's ex-wife's girlfriend on Friends, and she's starring in a new NBC sitcom herself. She'll be with us.
All right. And we've got Bob.
Yay. Somebody give Dave a map of the apartment.
And we have Elliot Smith and his upbeat music with us.
Yeah. Hopefully he won't jump off a bridge while he's here.
It's the Friday strut. We're strutting all over the country. We're strutting in swimming pools. It's doing the scrambled egg strut. You're doing fine, Dave.
I got 3 passports.
The Cyber Babe strut. Give yourselves a hand, a fine Friday strut. Very good.
Yay.
Now, I know you have some things you want to talk about.
Yep.
And we have one just little piece of business, apart from catching our breath.
It's good. You talk first. Go ahead.
that's right. Mentioned one birthday boy we dedicated the strut to.
Yes.
It is a birthday tomorrow for one of our camera guys,
Aw.
Mike Moore.
Hey, Mike.
Birthday tomorrow.
Mike the dog.
So we brought him in a good-looking woman to shoot all day. It's a little present.
Oh, it's better than that. It's better than that. Bob's agent, Al Rosenberg, was telling me earlier today that at the Hilton Hotel, the International Model Talent Show is going on.
That's right.
See, he immediately dropped his camera.
No more shot of me. Where's my close-up? Get up.
So what and we've already talked to Jeff Wynn, who's directing for Chuck, who's off to Africa. What we're going to do, Mike, is send you over to the Hilton Hotel. All right?
Oh, man.
Mike, who has a radar sense for attractive women.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who just has this incredible homing capacity.
It's a good thing we've had him fixed.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, right. So here's, put your camera down in some place where we won't trip over it, but that we can take shots from it periodically. Because it will stay, yeah, that's good. All right, because it's going to stay there until you come back.
Yeah, it's about as good work as we get out when you're here.
So here's the deal. You go down, do we have the letter of introduction? All right. Noted producer Paul Shavelson gives us the letter. To whom it may concern, as producer of FX Cable's acclaimed live morning show, I try and have my staff search for the best and brightest stories, blah, blah, blah. I've asked my staff member, Mike Moore, to track down the right models from your hunt. As his name suggests, he's more than qualified for the job. As part of this task, he'll need to bring the models candidates back to our studio apartment for judging during our live broadcast today. Are you up to this?
Sure.
Yeah, I bet you are. Noted producer Paul Shavelson, this is your letter of introduction. Here's the handy cam if you have trouble getting them to come back. But we'll do a Friday Strut reprise at the end of the show with as many models as you can bring back into the apartment. Ready?
Okay.
And here's $20 for cab fare and a good time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mike Moore, he's heading out. Happy birthday, Mike. Oh, you don't know how happy that man is.
Yeah. Don't let the comic exterior fool you. He's like jumping. His heart's going like a rabbit right now. He's excited. He doesn't know what he's going to do.
Well, Al told me that there are apparently from every floor models just everywhere.
Huh.
Isn't that what he told you, Bob?
Yeah, and there's 800 Spencers there.
Yeah.
And, I hope it isn't all Spencer's, or Mike is going to be brutally disappointed when he gets there.
No one under 6 feet.
Oh, boy. So that'll be fun for him. So the Water World opens today, the Great Water World. Yeah, I didn't see it. I heard it was not bad.
Not bad.
I heard it was pretty good. It was exciting.
Did you read the USA Today review?
No, not yet. Okay. I'm saving it for later. I hear
Wow,
really good.
not bad, eh? Ooh.
And also the Net opens today with Sandra Bullock and Jeremy Northam, who we have on the show today. And I saw that last night, and it was pretty darn good.
Good.
It's exciting.
Good.
But, because you're such a cyber nut, I have to ask you this question. Do you really believe that people can take over your life and erase your life based on information that they can get on the internet?
I'm not as computer literate as I sometimes let on, but I certainly believe that there's a potential there if you have... I mean, we've had hackers get into the Pentagon. So the potential exists for people to get into previously thought of as safe files and change. I think her fingerprints are changed in it. And
everything.
I
mean, but they have access to her medical records. They know what she eats. They know what cigarettes she smokes. They know everything.
If it's in a computer, somebody can get to it.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So it's worth seeing. It's pretty exciting. It keeps you going the whole
way. And she's
way.
charismatic as hell, isn't she?
But you know what I like about it? This poor girl is on the run. She's never has time to do anything, and she looks terrible throughout the whole movie. And I think that's good only because I hate when they're on the run, they haven't bathed in 6 days, and all of a sudden they look gorgeous.
Yeah, and they're wearing lip gloss.
And they wear lip gloss, exactly. So she barely has any makeup on, and her hair looks ratty for the whole movie. God bless her. I love her.
Yeah.
USA Today says our guest, Jeremy, is a star to watch, a star of the future.
Best bet for stardom.
All right. Here's a little factoid for you. Since yesterday's breakfast time, approximately 9,825,000 watched their favorite soap opera. Now, that is based on Nielsen figures for a given week of viewing. And we'll go on to computer, to the internet, for some cyber soaps later with Cyber Babe. Right now, let's take a look at how Mike's camera is doing in his absence. We get a Mike shot. That's great. Okay.
Wow, that's the best shot he's ever taken. Look how steady that is.
All right. The Mike Moore Memorial Camera Shot will stay with us for the balance of today's show.
It's the first time he's taken a shot of a guy.
That's right. Yeah, no kidding. Let's welcome John Davis, J.D., spending the week in Newport, Rhode Island today with the Surface Warfare Officers School, and they're getting up for simulated warfare there. J.D.?
That's right, Tom. This is the ultimate internet right here. We're at the Surface Warfare Officer School Command, and this is the Maritime Information Command Center. Now look at this. On all of these computers, they're monitoring what's going on all over the world. They have information about ships that are out there, submarines that are out there, and with the click of a dial, where are we here? The Persian Gulf?
This is
That's
Mediterranean.
Mediterranean. Let's see what's out in the Mediterranean. They can click on, they identify where the different ships are, and when they click on a ship, it gives them all the information of who's captaining, what's aboard, what the ship is carrying, so that we properly know how to protect ourselves and defend ourselves if that ship would become a threat. When we come back, we're going to go in a command center, a simulator of a frigate command center, and see what happens when these guys are out on the open seas trying to protect our country.
By the way, for those of you not in the military, this is the official symbol of it is a threat. That's it.
What's this?
Check out. All right. A little bit right there. Okay.
Your
All right.
focus.
Okay. Patricia's with us in Topeka, Kansas with the Topeka Swim Association, the Topeka Tide.
The Topeka Tide, they're getting ready. They're awake. They're ready to go. It's the height of the swimming season and also the height of the competitive swim season. Well, these kids are getting ready. There's a lot of competitions going on. The best of these swimmers will go on to a national competition in Pasadena. When we come back, we're going to meet the coach, and we're going to see the paces he puts them through to get the best and make them be the best that they can be in every way. When we come back, we're going to see them go through those paces.
Hey.
All right, thanks, Patricia. Yeah, don't go focus in this camera. We want it to look just like it would if Mike were here.
Yeah. Yeah, and it does, too.
Yeah, whoa. Let's go back to Reddington, New Jersey, where Phil Kogan is amidst the balloons at the 12th Annual Quick Check Festival of Ballooning. Phil?
Tom, I couldn't help but notice where the rabbit, oh no, it's getting covered up, but where the rabbit was getting his hot air this morning, right down the bottom there. It's completely covered up. Anyway, Tom, there are some 7,000 registered ballooners who, 7,000 balloons around the country, about 19,000 balloonists. And when we come back, we're going to show you how you get one of these things up into the air. They've been around for centuries. We're going to show you how you use propane and a little hot air and go up in the air.
All right, good enough. Thanks, Phil.
Yeah.
Good. Fine-looking balloons.
Yeah, that's actually beautiful when they all hit the sky. It's a great shot. We also have Handyman Joe. He's going to clean our pipes. There ain't nothing like a drain.
Is he still in South Pacific?
I don't know. We'll have to find that out.
Okay.
But first, we find out what is happening across the country this
Oh,
morning.
all right.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Vernon Shaw. Here's what's happening. It could be Judgment Day for Susan Smith. Closing arguments are set for this morning in the sentencing phase of her double murder trial. The defense rested its case yesterday after Smith's stepfather pleaded for life. Jurors must decide whether Smith deserves the death penalty for taking the lives of her two young sons. Things are calm again this morning in Miami and Indianapolis after a night of unrest. In Miami's Coconut Grove neighborhood, officials say violence broke out in connection with the fatal shooting last week of a teenager by an officer. And in Indianapolis, officials say claims of police brutality sparked a second night of violence. A possible breakthrough in the medical world, researchers at Duke University will be able to use genetically altered livers from pigs to help people dying from liver failure. The experiment has been cleared by the Food and Drug Administration. And finally, supermodel, but not superstar. Cindy Crawford's movie debut, Fair Game, has been yanked from the summer lineup. It had been set to open next month. That's a quick look at what's making headlines. Now, here's Jillian with the weather.
Well, Vernon, it is hot, hot all over the country. But let's pick out some of our favorite cities and talk about what's going on in their neck of the woods, like Dallas. Dallas, it's going to be sunny, humid, and hot today. They're going to reach a high of about 102. In Denver, it's also going to be sunny with the skies. They're going to be bright, but very, very dry in Denver. Let's take a look at some of those high temperatures. You can see that in the Plain States, it's sunny, hot, and humid. We're going to be reaching those hundreds, 90s, very high temperatures, and also up in the northwest, it's partly cloudy and warm. You're going to see temperatures, about in the 80s. It's going to be a hot day all over the country, so be prepared. Put on your sun oil. Protect yourself so that you don't get those UVA rays.
You bet.
That's what's going on in the weather.
Okay.
Let's go over to Mike Moore's camera. I have to talk to Mike for just a second. Mike, I know you're down in the control room. I can't believe you haven't left skid marks so that it's the New York Hilton you're going to. The New York Hilton. We'll take care of your camera. You find the models, all right? All right. Mike Moore, off to the New York Hilton. The International Model Search is being housed there. Lori?
Thank you very much. You know, as perfect as this apartment is, we do sometimes have our little problems. And right now it's a clogged drain in the bathroom, oddly enough. Thank goodness we've got Handyman Joe Ziola from Ardsley Hardware in Ardsley, New York, who's going to show us exactly. Are you still in South Pacific?
It closed on Sunday.
It closed on Sunday.
It was a lot of fun.
Reviews,
though, thank God, yes.
So what causes a clogged drain?
Well,
my bathroom drain gets clogged constantly.
Typically what happens in the bathroom, especially, is the hair that does go down the drain. And the
Right.
soap, what it does, it coats the sides of the pipes. This is typically a drain pipe. As it coats that, the hair sticks to it, and eventually that opening gets smaller and smaller,
Right.
so the water doesn't flow anymore. What I did was here, I set up a demonstration for us. What I put in there was paper, and there's some stuff in there. And because what people typically do when they have this problem is they go and they buy a can of a liquid drain cleaner, right? Because it's the easiest thing to use. Well, it does work well, but the one problem we have is that it's adding a chemical to the environment, right? We pour it in, and it'll take a few minutes, and the clog should go through.
Wait 15, then rinse with
See, there she goes, see? It eventually does it, and the clog will fall down and through, and the drain will be clear. The one problem with that, though, you see what it does? It adds to the pollution that we don't really need.
What exactly makes it push through?
That's potassium hydrochloride. So what it's doing is eating away at the clog, all right? Imagine when that gets into the system, it does dilute itself, but it adds to pollution to our environment.
All right, so what's a better solution?
The better solution is this. It's to snake it out. This is called a snake or drain cleaning tool. Snake because it looks like one. It's got a head, it's long, and it's kind of snaky and twisty. You take something like this, you put it down the drain, we take that off, and we shove this in as far as we can get it, right? So she'll go down, and what it does is it hits the bends in the pipes. The way to get the snake around the bends in the pipes is this little tool here. You tighten that on the snake and you spin it. As you spin it and push, it gets itself down further and further into the pipe. As that snake head spins in there, it catches whatever it has to on the pipe and helps to dislodge it, right?
And pushes it through.
So when you get it, now the one tip I'm going to show you.
Used to use me.
When you get it this far, though, right? We have a snake in there. We could turn it by hand. But if the snake is in the drain far enough, which we got this one in, you could take off this tool and put a drill on the end. What putting a drill on the end does, it gives us the opportunity to spin this in there, right? So that's spinning away. Right. So it's spinning away in there, and as it spins away, it's knocking the side walls of that pipe, and all the stuff that's accumulating on it is loosened and helps push
Can it
through.
scratch the pipes, though?
Yeah.
No, it's not going to do that. The pipes are strong enough to withstand that because it's only this kind of a banging type motion.
See, the thing is, I mean, my drain gets clogged all the time, but this seems really complicated for me.
Let me tell you something, Lloyd. If you did this, it wouldn't happen all the time.
I know, but to get a drill and a snake and to throw it down and the cranking and I
if
don't
you
know.
did it, you might only do it once a year and not have the buildup. If you keep throwing the liquid down, what you're doing is you're taking that constricted hole, making it a little bit open, so your water goes down, but you continue to take showers in the hair. It closes it again, so you pour more down, it opens it. It never really opens it all the way. What I'm telling you is if you got a snake like this inside your drain and spun it, not necessarily with a drill, that's my little Handyman Joe tip to you.
Oh, okay.
Spun it in there, let some water run through it, all that waste would go through, and you wouldn't have it.
Next time, I'll just call 1-800-HANDY-WIPE and have him come.
And oddly enough, snakes are on sale at Ardsley Hardware in Ardsley, New York this week. Joe, thank you very much. Very useful information. This works on any drain, right?
Any drain, except for the toilet bowl, not in the toilet.
I feel really drained.
All right, thank you. Tom?
All right, thanks a lot. Now, that drill idea is a very good one for whipping that stuff around. We've got some great stuff to keep you right there, and Jillian's going to tell you about it.
Find out why the napkins on Tom and Lori's breakfast table are invaluable, and find out what all seagoing naval officers have in common on Breakfast Time.
Remember when a gentleman would do...
Welcome back to Breakfast Time with Lori, Tom, and Bob the Puppet. Sitting in for Jim the announcer, it's me, Jillian. Now, say good morning again, Tom and Lori.
Thank you. We got some headlines here, Jill, that deal with the hobby that our visiting viewer, Kathy Campbell of Albion, Michigan has. She and her husband, Ray, are with us. She collects napkins, thousands of napkins. How many do you have since this story was written?
I probably have 7,000 more.
Here, I'll get out there. Sorry.
I think that says 9,000. I have about 16,000.
Whoa. Right? Yeah.
Some of them are autographed, I see.
Some are.
And by whom?
Well, Mark Aguirre.
Whoa.
I also have a Mickey Mantle one that I picked up right here in New York. But
really?
he did several years ago when we were in the restaurant. He did. I asked him to autograph a napkin, and he said, "Don't you want me to autograph the baseball card?" And I said, well, no. And of course he looked at me funny, and he said, well, I guess I'll autograph a napkin.
Can I just warn Adam or Ed, in the event of any breakfast spillage, don't go for the collection.
Oh, yeah.
just don't do that. Well,
Yeah, like they would clean something up.
Where do you watch us? What cable system?
We watch on Channel 57 in our town, Albion.
Yeah.
What's your
and
cable company?
Americable, right.
We love them.
Good to have you here.
We love all cable that carries us. Jim, or Jillian, I'm sorry. If people want to invite us for breakfast, we'll be gladly to go. But if they want to come here for breakfast, it's Friday.
It's Friday, I understand. Well,
Yeah.
they can write
You
to
know
us,
what I
Lori.
mean.
I know what you mean. They can write to us at P.O. Box 825, Madison Square Station, New York, New York, 10159-0825. They can also telephone us at 800-FX-FX-FX1, fax us at 212-802-4208. Email's very good, too,
Oh, yeah.
at fxbreakfast@delphi.com. Send those letters, faxes, and email us, because that's what we love.
Oh, here, let me just take this John Kennedy autograph napkin and wipe that little mess up. There we go. No problem, no problem.
Let's head to Newport, Rhode Island right now and join John Davis. He's at the Surface Warfare Officer School Command on the Newport Naval Base. It's the only training site for seagoing naval officers in the U.S. Navy. Not bad, John.
Yeah.
Hey, Lori, how are you? You know, this Surface Warfare Officer School Command has an exact replica of what happens aboard a frigate, which I'm going to show you what a frigate is. But just to let you know, this is the equipment room, and this is essentially the where all the electronics and all the information comes into the ship, so that the brain center works. It's essentially the nuts and bolts of the computer. And you know how sometimes you go to the bank to make a transfer and they go, the computer's down?
Yeah.
If this computer goes down, we're in deep trouble. Just to let you know, this is a frigate. This is the type of ship that we would be on if we were on this actual ship. And just to let you know, this here tells you exactly where you are aboard the ship. So the equipment room where we were just in would be right about here on the ship. You are here. And if they need to look at that, again, we're in deep trouble. Now let's just go down here. Now 5,000 officers come through this school every year, and every seagoing naval officer has to come through this school. And through the course of a long career, they could come through 4 or 5 different times. Just to let you know, now you're here. We would be right above the equipment room. And this is Senior Chief Harmsen. Now, Chief, tell me, what goes on in this center?
Well, this is the Combat Information Center, where we're training the officers to defend and take tactical action for the ship. So right here we're actually in a training scenario right now, and what you're hearing in the background is the chatter of a missile being shot at us, and we're defending ourselves.
Whoa, hey, and we're not rocking. How come we're not rocking?
Well,
we're not being hit.
That's about the only thing we can't simulate. Other than that, we can put a lot of stress on these guys.
So you're out here, and you're assuming that the ship is out at sea, and you're watching what's going on around you.
That's right. We're tracking all the aircraft, the ships, and submarines around us, and then we put them in a stressful tactical situation like we're doing right now. We have missiles inbound, 2 missiles inbound at us, and they have to defend the ship using the missile system, the guns, or the torpedoes.
Great. The day I show up, they have 2 missiles inbound. Just my luck. Come back in here. Now, we're going to look. All of these machines monitor surface and air attacks. But over here is the sonar room, which monitors what goes on under the water. Now, tell me a little bit about this, Chief.
Okay. They're tracking a submarine right now, and they're close to be doing an engagement on him.
Now tell me what we're seeing. How do you know that there's a submarine there?
That is Rugel, and if you look at the lines here, that is sound coming through the water. With intelligence sources, we can identify that sound, specifically who it might be.
Okay, so you're dragging a big microphone, essentially. All right, show us what happens if you're being attacked, you know, that you're getting a missile coming in from a sub. What goes on here?
Okay, basically, we've got an active sonar right behind you. It sends the signals over to the, this is our fire control panel, basically our fire control computer. What it does is it takes the information from the active sonar, and it just goes ahead and makes up a solution. And we go ahead, and once we put in the parameters, we just go ahead and set it up over here.
So this is standby to fire a missile?
Exactly. We get a green board and we just fire.
One?
Oh, great, great. Well, we just fired. We had 2 inbound. What the heck? When we come back,
word for it.
when we come back, we're going to check out more here at the the Surface Warfare Officers
go?
Training Command.
Thank
I'm
you.
here.
John, thank you for that very shady
I'm
report
here.
from Newport, Rhode
You know, if we
Island.
lost one bulb in that remote, it would have been a radio play.
Jeremy Northam joining
Jeremy's here
us.
from the net.
Hi,
Jeremy sat down, looked at Bob, and said, "You look like I feel."
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
It's,
Did you have a fun night in New York last night?
No, just sleepless, you know. I don't know what it is. I'm coming from the West Coast. I'm kind of all over the place. So, sort of 10 hours sleep in 3 days. Oh.
Let's hear it.
A pity
Say
party.
today's next big film star. Oh.
A hit movie, First Class Airfare. Oh.
How sweet.
All right, let's stick a little philosophy on him. Bob Keeshan is here, Captain Kangaroo.
Oh, you got to do your best every day no matter what happens. And remember what F.C. Hayes said, the wind blows strongest against those who stand tallest.
Right, and tall cameraman Mike Moore is heading down to the New York Hilton to try to lure models back here from the International Model Show. He's left his camera where he placed it. Let's take a Mike Moore shot. Oh, Spencer!
Spencer knows where this
Yeah,
is.
no kidding, huh? Okay. Jillian, in addition to Spencer positioning himself perfectly, what else is going to happen today?
Sandra Bullock's got a new man. A leading man, that is. He's English, he's charming, and a fine actor. Meet Jerry Northam on Breakfast Time.
At FX, we recognize the importance of family values like honesty.
I am not a murderer. That was an accident.
Generosity.
How dare you buy Stephen's son for Crystal?
Integrity.
That reptile, which you call a son, has accused Monica and me of incest.
Empathy.
Now listen to me, you little tramp.
I really wish I had time to jerk you around, Alexis.
And FX recognizes that ever-important family value of cleanliness.
I know you, Adam, because it stinks of you.
Get your FX fix of family values with Dynasty. Weekdays at 9 Eastern, noon Pacific, only on FX.
At Quality Inns, Hotels, and Suites, kids and grandkids not only get to stay free. This summer, they can also get an exclusive Power Rangers activity book based on their hot new movie. It'll teach your kids about safety, and it includes a Power Rangers ID card free. But supplies are limited.
The power is on. It's more phenomenal.
So check into Quality Inns today, where kids stay free.
So sweet. So irresistible. A temptation you can't resist. California grapes, the natural snack.
Would I let my family eat off dishes that were just sort of clean? Of course not. I want my dishes sanitary, especially for them. That's why I use Dawn. Even greasy pans come out sanitary with Dawn. That's the kind of clean I want.
I used to be this big. I've been heavy ever since the day they took my tonsils out. When I used to sing solos, I was so terrified. Felt like, oh my gosh, I'm fat. Jenny Craig taught me how to manage my weight. Well, I love to sing solos now. I can sing and sing and sing and sing. It's amazing.
Start losing weight now at Jenny Craig and get 30 days for $30. Call 1-800-39-JENNY. That's 1-800-39-JENNY. Why wait another day?
I mean, what are you waiting for? You know, what was I waiting for?
That's a good boy. He's not an infant anymore.
Down here.
He's not yet a big boy.
Here we go.
He's a toddler.
There he goes.
Too big for a bottle, not big enough for a glass. This is just right. Next Step Toddler Formula from the makers of Enfamil.
Smile big.
Specially designed for toddlers with the Iron Cow's Milk Lax.
Oh boy.
After the bottle, before the milk. Next Step Toddler Formula. In soy, too.
Every night on FX, Under Scrutiny's Jane Wallace goes one-on-one with today's issues and newsmakers.
Is there any meat here, or is this just all chase and tail?
She's off-center, but not off the mark.
There is something sort of macaroni and cheese about this survey.
Outrageous, but never out of control.
Your wife approves of this population plan?
News that's seriously interesting.
Oh, everybody's going on this one.
Jane Wallace. Hard news, blunt talk, sharp wit.
Clearly there's more to say on this.
Under Scrutiny, weeknights at 7, 6 Central, exclusively on FX.
It's 32 minutes past the hour. Welcome back to Breakfast Time with Tom, Lori, and Bob the Puppet. Sitting in for Jim the announcer, it's me, Jillian. Now, here's Tom.
Excuse me, Joe, just a second. Paul, how come after Handyman Joe does his segment, he just sits there waiting for breakfast? How does that? You If you want food, go get some. Just don't stop looking at that hangdog expression.
I worked hard this morning.
All right.
He's waiting for what he fixed to break again.
Okay. We're going now to a very exciting remote with Phil Kogan because there's nothing better in the morning than a whole field full of helium balloons. Phil's, that's a rule, by the way, you know, in morning television. Phil's inside one right now, hopefully ready to duck and cover when the flame starts igniting. He is at the 12th Annual Quick Check Festival of Ballooning in Reddington, New Jersey. Phil?
Tom, I'm on the ground right now, inside one of the balloons right now, and it's very hot in here because it has to be in order to get a lot of lift. Let me introduce you to Jerry over here, who's one of the balloon enthusiasts. 125 balloon enthusiasts have come out here, 125 balloons, sorry, have come out here to take part in this festival. You have a look around, Z, show Tom. You can see there's a lot of balloons already erected right now. And what I was trying to show you before was this rabbit over here. I just wanted you to tell me what's wrong with this picture. Look where the hot air's going. Anyway, certainly wakes you up in the morning. Let's go over this way, Z. Then let's talk about how you actually get the balloons up in the air, because you use propane gas, correct?
Right, it's propane gas. We use the burner here to heat the balloon inside. Now, years ago, balloons used to be filled all with some kind of lifting gas like hydrogen or helium. The balloon we fly here today, and the balloons you see here at the New Jersey Balloon Festival, the Early Times balloon, is filled with hot air. It's simply outside air that we heat with the burner, and air is heated with the propane.
Thanks very much. Now, Tom, in order to get this balloon up in the air, you have to have a temperature difference of 100 degrees, which means that the air inside here has to be 100 degrees hotter than the outside air. That way you get that lift. And you can see way back this way, you can see a whole lot of balloons who are already going up. And we're going to go up in this balloon over here with Jim, who's been a balloon pilot for some 23 years. Jim, the pilot, would you mind taking us up and talking to us about the balloons here?
No, come right aboard. You're going to love it. Come on. It's the best time in the day to fly, early in the morning.
Now, someone was telling me about that. You have to fly sunrise or sunset.
That's right.
Swiftly
fly
balloon I carry.
Enough heat to get us up in the air.
Excuse me.
The two of you.
All right, we got a lot of hot air right now, and I wanted to tell you right now, Tom, that the first balloon flight in America actually took place in 1793 from Pennsylvania across to New Jersey. It went across the Delaware River, and George Washington was out that day, along with 50,000 other spectators. And there was a letter on board the balloon, along with a dog, and that was actually the first airmail letter that was ever delivered.
You have taken off. Good.
Now, this is it. Look at the sun out there. It's beautiful.
What is it about ballooning that people like so much? I mean, it seems very peaceful.
The most beautiful people in the world that you can meet while you're ballooning. That's the greatest thing of it.
Beautiful people. We should talk to Mike more about that, right? This festival, Tom, there are 125 balloons who will be taking part right now. You can see the designs vary. Our friend the rabbit over here, the Early Times bottle, which is up in the air.
It was early in the morning for that.
Great job. Oh, yeah. Now, you're tethered, so you're not going to just take off and be lost to us for the rest of the show, right?
No, we're actually tethered down right now. We're about 100 feet off the ground. And when we come back, Tom, we've got a lot more excitement for you, because it's not just ballooning that's taking part of the festival. There are thousands of people who are out here. They've got aero displays. They've got helicopters out here, wing walking. And when we come back, we'll have a lot more excitement.
Sounds good. A little wing walking in our future would be a great finish to the week. All right, Phil Kogan in Reddington, New Jersey. Lori?
Thank you very much. Right now, let's take a look at some of today's top stories.
All right.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Vernon Shaw. Here's what's making news. The blistering heat is still hovering over much of the country, and no relief's in sight. Forecasters say folks from the southwest to the east coast will be dealing with uncomfortable heat and humidity through at least next weekend. No testimony today in the O.J. Simpson trial. Judge Ito canceled the session after a juror got sick yesterday afternoon and was taken to the hospital. Joey Buttafuoco's arrest for allegedly picking up a Hollywood prostitute could land him behind bars again. Buttafuoco is to be arraigned today in New York on charges of violating probation during his trip to L.A. Buttafuoco's on probation after serving 4 months in jail for statutory rape of Amy Fisher. And finally, after budget overruns, staffing shakeups, and shooting delays, the most expensive movie ever made is ready to be seen by the public. Kevin Costner's Waterworld opens across the U.S. today with a final price tag of about $200 million. Well, that's a quick look at what's making news. Now, here's Jillian with the weather.
Hot, hot, hot. In the southeast today, sunny, humid with scattered thunder showers. In the southwest today, sunny and dry, near record heat. Speaking of heat, let's take a look at some of those high temperatures.
Ooh.
Phoenix, 117 very hot degrees today.
Phoenix.
Charlotte, 89 degrees, and Kansas City falling right in the middle between those two at 95. It's hot, hot, hot. Wear hats and sunglasses. Protect yourselves from the sun's harmful rays.
Okay.
But I'm doing really badly.
This is a disgusting display of grief.
Look at this.
He can't even sit down. He has to get these grapes. We have some other fruit if you want some. Do you want a big bowl of fruit?
No, no, thank you. That's,
sure? Official welcome for Jeremy Northam.
Yay!
Hello. Of the Net, member of the Royal Shakespeare Company, and USA Today's pick for Best Bet for Stardom. If you're looking at today's paper, yes,
yeah,
indeed.
the pressure's on.
And I love it because it's the first time he's seen it.
No, please.
It's a good one. It's very good. Things could be worse than being picked for Stardom.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's better than being a long shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Terrific movie. I saw it last night.
Good, I'm glad you liked it.
Very exciting. You know, movies like that, I always wonder if it's as exciting to make them as it is to watch them.
Well, you know, movies are always kind of odd because they're, as I'm sure you know, you're kind of broken up so much. But there are some fairly exciting times. I think driving a big boat off in the Pacific with Jack Green, the cinematographer, buzzing around in a helicopter. I thought, oh no, I'm in I'm in filmmaking heaven, because it was like something I'd never ever imagined to do.
And you know, there was no question that it was you driving that boat, because there's a scene where they're in Mexico and he and Sandra Bullock are scooting along, and it starts in nice and close and then just widens out. It's gorgeous.
That was easy. Really just point and push, and you know, you pick a point on the horizon and go for it. But I did think occasionally, you know, there's a few bucks in this boat, and they left me in charge, just like leaving the madman in charge of the asylum. So.
Let's take a look at a clip from The Net. Jeremy Northam.
Yay.
Is that business or pleasure?
Is there a difference?
Not a great deal if you're a hacker.
It's a nice piece of hardware. I assume you're in the business?
Isn't everybody?
Nope.
Yeah.
And the plot thickens after that. It's okay to say you're the bad guy in this, right?
Well, I guess so. I
Now that I've said it.
Yeah, I suppose, but you're not supposed to know I'm the bad guy for the first 10 minutes. But I mean, I don't know. Everyone will be imputing all kinds of mischief in the first section of the film anyway. So.
Yeah, yeah. It's a great twist. Lots of layers to your character.
Well, thank you. I hope so. I'm not sure how many there really are, but you know, we certainly tried for something more than just a single dimension to him, or kind of, if you like the stereotype. It's a little while before, you know, a big gun comes out and the eyebrow starts getting raised, and you know, I suppose we try to avoid the normal route in.
Yeah, no, you weren't the you know, lurking awful person right from the beginning.
No, but the movie. I think the movie kind of acknowledges and pays a debt to Hitchcock amongst other people.
I agree. Now, is this your first big Hollywood picture?
It is, yeah. First time I worked in the States as well. So.
Boy, baptism by fire, huh?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Big gun chases and cars and...
I know, that was all fairly nerve-wracking, but no, it was great fun, you know, because I didn't know quite what to expect. And
did you have any preconceived notions that were completely blown out of the water?
Not really, I suppose. Not that I can remember now, but I remember being fairly nervous, because I come from another film I did in Canada before Christmas, and then I got the job immediately from being in LA, and then went home for Christmas, and then came back out again, and
it's all right. I'm paying very rapt attention.
You want a grape?
Thank you.
He likes
and really didn't know what to expect, and you know, I was convinced they'd sack me after about 2 days, but then, yeah, pessimist by nature, I suppose, and Sandy was great because she was Sandra
Bullock. Yeah. Sandy to her friends, I'm guessing.
Sandy.
Not us among them. It's okay.
It's horrible, isn't it? But though she kind of made me feel very welcome, and you know, she was very good to do the scenes with. Made me feel at home, and then you realise a set is a set is a set wherever it is, and it's.
Sure. Well, she's America's sweetheart too, so she must be
a
lot of fun to work with. Now, just quickly wrapping up, it's very high tech, very the net, the internet. Did you know anything
Without
about that?
letting the
going in?
human dimension escape. I mean, it's a human story within a technological background.
Oh, very good. Very good. Are you online
Maybe
now?
I should go into marketing. Am I online? No, I don't even use a computer.
Oh, you don't?
No, I use sort of, blocks of wood and chisels and things like that.
Well, you fooled everybody in this.
Abacus.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
terrific. It opens today, the net across the country. Jeremy Northam is terrific as, well, we'll say the bad guy. Okay.
Yay.
Thank you for coming in. Can you wait? Can you hang out
Of
for
course,
a bit?
of
Great. Jeremy Northam.
Yay!
I have one question. It's sort of a guy question. How is Sandra Bullock as a kisser, first of
He
all?
makes out with her.
Very, very nice. Thank you very much.
All right.
But must say it was the last thing I was kind of aware of when we did that scene. I bet everyone says things like that. But I think it was 4 in the morning, cold, and on a flooded parking lot in Paramount Studio.
Who hasn't dreamt of that?
So he thought, the romance, the glamour of filmmaking.
I want you to meet, before we go to break, because Jillian's going to tell us what else is happening. Is Cyber Babe here still?
Oh,
'Cause,
yeah.
I mean, starring in the net as you do, you've got to meet Cyber Babe. She is going to take us on an internet tour of soap operas, where you can do interactive soap operas.
Down the superhighway.
Cyber Babe?
Yes.
Cyber Babe, this is Jeremy from the net. Jeremy?
Net.
Cyber Babe.
Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
And I'm very well, and you?
She's wiping out your checking account.
It sounds
Yeah.
like it's all
Right
British
now.
corner. Are you British too, Cyber Babe?
No, I'm actually from Pluto.
From Pluto. Oh, she's from Pluto. Oh, I smell a real good segment coming up later. Jillian, what else is happening?
Pluto's a moose,
Learn
isn't
how
it?
you can write a soap opera that millions of people could follow every day when we come back live on Breakfast Time. The hour. Welcome back to Breakfast Time with Tom, Lori, and Bob the Puppet. Sitting in for Jim the announcer, it's me, Jillian. Now here's Lori and Tom.
We have, and Bob's over there. We
Yeah,
have one
thank
of
you.
those lovely synergistic moments here as one of the stars of the net bonds with our own Cyber Babe here in Computer Corner. It's just a charming thing. We're gonna go on the internet and get the internet soap opera lowdown in just a moment.
But first, we're going to check in with our local remotes and see what is on the front pages of their local papers. John Davis is in Newport, Rhode Island. Oh, you're looking very spiffy there with your hat on, John.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Hey, tomorrow here in Newport, in the local section, it is Love Day, and they're going to celebrate it by nude
Barry White's
moonlight
birthday.
swimming, guys. There's a self-proclaimed Dr. Love who has a PhD in history, and he's going to celebrate the 217th anniversary of the French troops landing in Newport to help the colonists during the American Revolution.
Now, John,
so tomorrow night,
you may have Dr. Love there, but we have Mr. Romance here.
Yes.
We'll be helping to kick off Romance
Yeah.
Month with Mr. Romance. So a little more synergy in the news. Patricia's in Topeka. What's making news there, Pat?
A lot of competition in the air around here. This weekend is the Sunflower State Games, now in its 6th year, expected to bring almost 11,000 people and over $1 million to this area. So it's going to be a very crowded weekend with a lot of going on around here. Everybody's getting really excited. And just to gear up for that, we're going to be showing you what they're getting ready for those games.
All right, Patricia.
Hey, the Twinkie.
I'm going to go over here to our apartment computer section because Cyber Babe is here with us, and we're maintaining your anonymity today and using your handle, your internet handle, as you take us through the internet. Not so much espionage going on here, Jeremy, as just good old-fashioned soap operas. Now, CB. Can I call you CB?
Yes, you can.
Thank you so much.
Go ahead.
Now, what is the spot, first of all? This is
Spot.
one of the 2 locations we're going to?
Yeah, this one is like a soap. It's kind of similar to Real World.
On MTV.
Yeah, they're like about 5 characters that live in this house, and these are all the stories and the daily happenings
Oh,
that
and
go
they take
on
care of
in this
themselves,
house.
don't
They
they?
do.
Except that one guy on the end.
So here, they put a 40-year history up on this soap, and like overnight.
What modem speed is this, do you know?
I have no idea, actually.
Okay.
Under 55.
Yeah, arguably not fast enough. But,
No.
All right, so here's one of
There's a lot
the...
of pictures, too.
No box is big enough
So
to
these are the
contain our
characters.
imaginations.
That's
Now,
right.
there's a thought for the day,
there
isn't
you
it?
go, Jeremy.
It's the house.
That's the house they live in.
This
How
is-
do you... Now, do you just read this as if you're reading a sort of a novel, or can you interact with this?
Yeah, this one you can actually interact. You can actually send email.
Mm-hmm.
So we go one step further. Here you can
So you
pick
can
a
email...
character.
If one of the characters is plotting against another character, you can email a
Yeah.
warning?
And that way you can change the storyline.
Oh, you can?
So this one you have control kind of over it. If you get bored, you can kind of cause some trouble with the characters. You know, you choose to follow a character through, like their story. You just carry on through that.
So each person who signs on can change the plot line. Now, how do you get on to, this is the address up here. If we can get a shot of this address.
This is the spot.
It'll take half the show to give it to you, but that's one of them, the spot.com. And this is one of the two. What's the other one?
The other one is Until Tomorrow. This is written, it has like 5 authors on it. It's more like a novel. And they were just given a storyline and like a title. And from there on, they just went through.
And this is more like just a read along.
This is like the novel on the net. This one you can't really send email and like change the story and cause trouble. Which is a bit of a shame.
Now, as Cyber Babe, in your identity as Cyber Babe, do you spend a lot of time with these particular soap opera?
These ones, I spend most of my time in the Mystery Melrose Theatre, which is actually a soap that's online. It's a drama within a drama. Because you're watching Melrose Place. You're watching Melrose Place, and then you kind of ad-lib to what's happening, and it becomes very, very dramatic.
So you could like send Heather Locklear to a convent if you wanted to.
Yeah, sure, if you want to in our imagination.
It wouldn't do any good.
You never know.
Command not entered. Command not entered. All right, so these are available on the internet, just examples of how you can become part of interactive.
Can you send Tom's salary to my checking account?
Interactive daytime drama.
But what's your kind of, what do they call it, the moniker you use for sort of communicating? What's your kind of title on the net? You're not supposed to reveal that.
Well, I'm not. Well, I am Cyber Babe.
She's Cyber Babe.
I'm the host of Mystery Melrose Theatre.
Right.
And she is too.
I am a babe inside.
Yeah, she is a babe.
So you're the host of Mystery. You're the host of Mystery Melrose Theatre. So what's going to happen in September?
Well, it's going to be the new series, and all the drama will happen again. We can't wait. We're really looking forward to it.
I know.
You heard it here first.
I'm very excited.
How about a hand for Cyber Babe?
Yay!
Thank you, Cyber.
And a well-deserved hubba hubba.
I will.
Jillian, why don't you
Well,
take...
before that, we have to say goodbye to Jeremy.
Oh, that's
I think.
right.
No, he just got here.
I know, he's going to the Today.
I've got to
Come
go.
on, a couple of grapes and he's out of here.
I've got to go. I've got a plane to catch. All right, nice to meet you. Bye-bye. All right, bye-bye.
Jeremy.
Thank you. Thank you. Nice to meet you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
What? No
Bye-bye.
kiss for the puppet?
What's the way out of this place?
Yeah.
Now that's a Cyber Babe. Let me tell you. Jillian, take us to break. What's coming up?
Ever wonder what it's like to try out for the Olympics? Find out firsthand when we meet Olympic hopeful swimmers live from Kansas on Breakfast Time.
Can watching a Botchko Cop show on FX help you lose weight?
Just 5 minutes to the top of the hour. Welcome back to Breakfast Time with Tom, Lori, and Bob the Puppet. Sitting in for Jim the announcer is me, Jillian. Now here's Tom and Lori.
Let me just mention, and Bob, of course, let me just mention how deeply disappointed I am in you.
I know.
Mike Moore is back to update. We sent almost birthday boy Mike Moore to the New York Hilton, where an international model show convention thing is going on. And you're back here. It's not even 8 o'clock Eastern Time. You're back, not even a model to show for it.
Well, they were all sleeping.
When has that ever stopped you?
Yeah.
Well, that's true, but some of
you're
them are a little too young, so I couldn't go knocking on doors. They don't know who they
Again, I
are.
asked, when has that ever stopped?
That's true. But no, all the competitions had ended yesterday.
Yeah.
And they all went out last night because they just have a luncheon. They give out the awards today and tomorrow. And I talked to their agent, and you know they wouldn't get anybody out because everybody was like out cold. So
Yeah, all right.
there was no one in the hallway. It was pretty bare.
Yeah, all right, yeah. Pick up your camera. Let's take Mike's camera, please.
Yeah, big man in the
Let's
apartment.
take the shot.
Yeah.
Take the shot from Mike's camera. There we go. As he puts it back on his shoulder.
As the theme song plays out, we slide into Jillian. I hope you got a word of the day for us.
Yes, I do. Lori, have you ever dreamed of walking into the apartment one morning and telling Bob exactly what he can and cannot say, what he can and cannot do?
They try that every morning around here.
Tom, have you ever dreamed of a breakfast time with no commercial break, where you just walk in and interview to your heart's content without anyone, not even our producer Paul Shavelson, telling you when to stop? Have you ever dreamed of being maestro?
I can't wait to hear this.
Omnipotent. Omnipotent means powerful, absolute power and authority. Omnipotent is our word of the day.
Just a minute. Word of the day, police here. We've had that word before.
Yeah.
We've had Omnipotent before.
Well, a lot of people forgot it.
Was that from Jim's?
Yeah, it's Jim's fault. Let's just say that. He's not here to defend himself.
Fine examples, though, Jillian, and it was a good word of the day. Just
That's right.
one we've had before.
That's right.
Thank you.
The alternate word is deja vu. Let's join Patricia Moreno as she is with us from Topeka, Kansas's Swim Association. Excuse me, Bob, can I just move back? Thanks so much.
Sorry, I didn't see that.
The Topeka tie.
Hey, Pachenko.
That's right. We're with a group of young kids here from the ages of 6 to 18 who are getting ready for competition. It's a big competitive time of year, and we're going to meet the coach right here, Bobby Kelly, who takes them through the tights, takes them through their paces. Now, explain to us a little bit about what we're doing here.
What we have here. Ready, go. First stroke here is the butterfly, and on the butterfly, what we're doing is we're recovering with both hands over, doing a dolphin kick. Ready, go. Second stroke we have here is the backstroke, and on the backstroke they're recovering one hand at a time with a flutter kick and staying on their back. Ready, go. The third stroke here is breaststroke. On the breaststroke they have a frog kick and their hands pull simultaneously together and they kick out.
Ribbit.
Ready, go.
Ribbit.
And the last stroke here is the freestyle. And on the freestyle is also known as crawl stroke. They have a flutter kick, and they're recovering one hand at a time.
So the thing is, everybody learns to do every stroke. Everybody's trained in every stroke, and then you see where they're stronger. But also what's very important is that they also do land drills. Now, why are the land drills also important?
They increase their overall body strength.
And does everybody have to do all of the different things?
We work all age groups and all the way up as they develop.
Now, why is it important to have strong abs, strong arms in these swimming techniques?
Because in swimming, you're using both your arms and legs to propel yourself through the water.
Okay, so how often do they do the land drills?
We do them 3 times a week.
Okay, let's see this drill. This drill is called... What is
this? This is the breaststroke drill, and we're using this. They go into lane ropes, and they're diving forward to get good extension, good reach on the stroke.
Why is that important to do this drill?
Because you want them lunging for the wall and really reaching.
So everybody does these as well, so everybody's a well-rounded, strong athlete. Now you do another land drill. Now this is the box drill. Explain to us what this is.
This is to make them explosive off the walls and make their kick explosive.
And you have different levels here?
Yes, we have different levels so the kids, as they progress, they can get stronger.
How high is this? This is very high.
32 inches.
32 inches. He's doing an amazing job. Yeah. I don't even think that would take a lot of practice, but those are for the more advanced swimmers, right?
Yes.
Now, how many hours a week do they spend training in swimming?
The youngest kids spend 30 minutes 3 times a week, and the oldest kids spend up to 21 hours training a week.
And sometimes double shifts in one day?
Yes. 3 times a week we do doubles.
Okay, so explain to us this next drill. What are you doing here?
This next drill is called celebration drill, and this is so they can enjoy and find the thrill of winning.
Kind of like their visualization. If they can practice it, they can do it.
Exactly.
Okay, so send them off. Let's see.
Go.
And now explain to us again what it is. We'll see them at the end actually envision themselves winning a big victory and really playing like they've actually won something big.
Yes. Allow them to visualize There we go.
Someone's
being
being
doing the same thing.
So I guess even if you never win, you still get to practice the big victory of it, right?
Absolutely. Makes it fun, and that's what
it makes it a lot more fun. Now, it is important for this to be fun, right? Not everybody can be a great swimmer.
Yes.
And so this is what he teaches them. He teaches them to be well-rounded, well-strength athletes. They get to practice the victory drill. They're very excited. They get up early in the morning, but they still love to do it. And that's it. They're not even mic'd.
We got another. Let's go it on. Let's go. Yay, yay, yay.
Yay, yay, yay.
Go practice time.
It's 8 o'clock, and welcome back to Breakfast Time with Tom, Lori, and Bob the Puppet. Sitting in for Jim the announcer is me, Jillian. Now here's the whole gang. Well, where are they? Oh, I guess they come up after the toast.
Wait till the toast comes up,
Okay.
Keep talking till the toast comes up.
Keep talking. What kind of toast is it? Ah, there's the right toast.
Yeah. It's no matter. See, you could just hiccup and stop. They're going to hang on that thing till that damn toast comes up.
Doesn't matter. They paid a lot of money for that toaster.
That's right.
And they're going to wait for it. I
learned my lesson.
In the paper that the comics see the flip side of finding the fat gene we were talking yesterday. There's an injection. You could possibly become thin if they inject you with the right thing. They're doing it with mice right now. And they talked to some comics, and Phyllis Diller and Henny Youngman are very upset about this because they've made their entire careers out of making fat jokes, and if everybody's thin, they're out of business.
Are they both still in business? I mean, that's more the surprise to me.
Yeah.
We've got a whole other hour of stuff to entertain you and inform you with, including in a few minutes you're going to talk to Mr.
Romance. He's going to tell us why, no matter how busy you are, you can always find time for romance.
He's over there waving, Mr. Romance.
Yeah.
There he is. Can we see him? Yeah, we saw him.
There he is.
All right.
We'll just see about that.
Oh, I feel romantic.
Elliott Smith will be here. He is recording. Where's the CD? Do you have the CD? Huh? He's in the hallway? Elliott's in the hallway?
How long has he been there?
That's, he can come in,
Hey,
you know.
come on out now.
Elliott Smith is coming down, getting ready to join us. He'll be performing for us. And also, we'll talk to...
Jessica Hecht.
Thank you.
From Friends. Friends, that's why we're here for each other.
Right.
You know? Friends and also The Single Guy. Two series out this fall. One she's been on for a year. The other one she's just starting up. Excited for her.
JD is among our road warriors
World's
around and
largest
about.
clarinet.
He's at Newport, Rhode Island at the Surface Warfare Officers School Command. JD?
Oh. Hey, Tom, the officers here were watching you do the clapping thing. They were real impressed. They were like, what the heck's that? Anyway.
That's good to know, John.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? They use jet engines to propel these massive ships through the water. And this is a jet engine that they use to generate electricity on board the ship. In a little bit, we're going to go into a simulation of an engine room and find out what happens when there's trouble aboard the ship and how they handle it.
All right, JD, good enough. Patricia is back in Topeka, Kansas, getting soggy with the swim team there. Patricia?
But we've seen, well, Tom, good morning. We've seen what they do, how they go through the paces. But what we're going to see when we come back is how it really pays off. We have an Olympic hopeful in here who's been training for 3 years. When we come back, we're going to see exactly what she goes through and what she's doing. And in the meantime, they're rooting her on. That's it.
Let's play Spot the Olympic Hopeful.
Let's try clapping together.
Phil's in Reddington, New Jersey. From balloons to wing walkers, he's got it all at the 12th Annual Quick Check Festival of Ballooning. Phil?
That's right, Tom. A lot more than hot air. This is one of the top 100 tourist attractions in the United States. Have a look over here. You can see they're expecting 150,000 people to turn up for all the festivals that are going on here. And as you said, Tom, there's a lot more than just the ballooning. There is, in fact, some wing walking. Over here we have Jessica, who is, as you can see, warming up for her wing walking along with pilot Walt. I asked them if they do any warm-ups. They said no. They just go up and do it. So
you're expecting 150,000 people, is that right? We'll send Mike Moore there to get them out of bed.
Yeah, and that's where they'd be when they show up. Yeah.
They'll know how to spot the girls out here.
Yeah. All right, good stuff. Elliott Smith, did he make it into the apartment?
He is here.
He is here. He's warming up. Good stuff. We're also going to be talking romance when we come back. But first, let's take a look at some of today's top stories.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Vernon Shaw. Here's what's happening. Decision time.